Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Gavin.
I'm Aunt Becky. I'm Tracy.
I'm Matt.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Joel.
I'm Grandpa.
And we're some of the Veggie Boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. Hey ladies! Welcome back everyone, it's so nice to see you. We've been able to get a lot done here on the farm this morning. We've got the farm market set up, we've got the animals fed, we've got the greenhouses taken care of, and we also did some cleaning around the pens this morning. I don't know about you, but I think the cattle are really enjoying the sawdust that we put in today. Right? I feel like every time I record I mention that we got rain, and last night we got about an inch of rain leading into today. Before the rain yesterday, we were able to get a lot of corn planted. As I mentioned, the greenhouses were all taken care of, but I wanted to bring you along in the greenhouse number 5 to show you some things that we have going on. We still have some younger tomato plants. These are all gonna be for sale. We do planting so that we can always have young and new plants ready for our customers. And a lot of people are getting ready to start their late tomatoes, so we're gonna have plants for them. But the biggest reason why I'm in here today is actually these tomato hanging baskets. These tomato hanging baskets are one of our most popular items here at the farm. But we had a little bit of a problem. We planted too many. And since we planted too many, what we're gonna end up doing is actually leaving them in this greenhouse, and we're gonna be harvesting these tomatoes ourselves soon. As you can see, they've got a lot of blossoms on them. We've got some smaller tomatoes forming here, and soon enough we'll be able to harvest them. And before I move on to my next job, I just wanna show you, look at greenhouse number 4. It's like empty. It's always crazy how we go from the beginning of the year when this is completely empty, we fill it completely full, and now it's empty again. Now, if you remember from a previous video, we were unloading some straw. We brought one of the full wagons back to the farm. We sell a lot of straw. That's why it's nice to have an entire wagon here. So if someone shows up looking for 20, 30 bales, we don't have to drive them down to the barn. We can bring them right here. And you're probably thinking to yourself, who uses 20 to 30 bales of straw? And the answer to that question is golf courses. We sell a lot of straw to golf courses in this local area, and we also sell to some contractors and anybody else that's planting grass or has something else going on. During fall, you sell a lot of straw bales for people that like to decorate. That's pretty cool. Right now, myself, Gavin, Dad, and Matthew are working on some fabricating. We have an older piece of equipment we're working on, and we're trying to give it a little bit of an update, you know, try and make it work a little nicer. You finally brought your real tractor over to the farm.
I know, I've been hiding it in the garage the whole time.
Now, where did you find that thing?
Found alongside the road.
Now you guys have seen the equipment we use, and this thing is a little bigger than what we normally would have on the farm. This machine actually belongs to our neighbors. If you remember when we go over and visit Sugarloaf Organics, this is actually their machine. Now Sugarloaf Organics also raises ornamental trees, and when they are finished with a crop of trees at the end of the year, they need a large machine to come through and plow up all the holes from pulling out the trees. And that would be this machine right here. Now the big reason why you need such a large machine is they have to dig really deep with a plow to turn that soil over to fill all those holes from pulling out the trees. And you're probably thinking, that's neat, Andrew, but why do you have it? Well, the same way we raise our vegetables on a rotation and all of our other crops on a rotation, they do the same thing with trees. And since those fields are gonna be on a rest from trees, they asked if we wanted to farm them. So we're gonna be planting corn in those fields. And since we have to fill in those holes from them pulling out the trees, they lent us their tractor and their machine to do so. One of the only rules they left us with was sweep the floor out when we're done, because he says he keeps this cleaner than his truck. The weather's on, so I have to be quiet, but we're having sloppy joes and potato salad for lunch. After we got finished with lunch, all of us loaded up and we were on our way to this farm that we were going to plant corn on. Now, Daniel went first with the plow. When we got there, I wanted to take the drone up and I wanted to give you an idea of how big this area is. And what's neat is because of the trees, there's actually deer fence that goes around the entire area. So the corn that we do put there should be very protected. Now, Joel got started right away with our batwing mower. This is called a bush hog, this particular mower. It's a 15-foot mower, and as you can see, it does a great job at breaking down the greenage. Now, Joel is doing his best to get all of this area mowed so that Daniel can start plowing. And it was a little difficult to fly the drone. I don't know if you could tell there, it's pretty windy. Joel is working on his last pass in this little section, and that allowed Daniel the opportunity to get started. Now, the thing Daniel has to watch out for, there are a lot of holes in this field from them pulling out the trees. They pull out trees that are ready to be sold, and they're quite large, and that can leave a pretty large crater in the ground. So Daniel has to take the plow over these holes and try and fill them all in. Now, later on, we are going to come through with a disc and smooth everything out, but for now, Daniel is just trying to fill in all those holes and get the soil prepared to be planted. As you guys can see, Joel got started with mowing these fields. We want to get as much mowed as possible. We are having a tiny issue with the plow, but we're working on it right now. And as you guys can see, there's a pretty big section here. There's still some stuff that needs to be moved out of the field, but they're working on that right now. And then Joel's gonna get it mowed, and then Daniel will be able to finish plowing.
We need to get some tools. This needs to be flipped over, because this needs to be in here.
Yeah.
This piece is unhooked.
This is broken here too.
Yeah. Okay, let's go get some tools and we'll run up and see if we can find a pin on that other plow.
We brought Daniel back home to pick up some tools to work on that plow. Fortunately, they have another plow that we can take parts off if we need to, which it's looking like we might. Do you see our peppers? I'm impressed by our peppers. They are doing really, really good. In our area, when you transplant peppers, usually it takes them a little bit to get out of that initial shock. But from what I can see, our peppers have already started to grow, and there's only select areas that are still experiencing a little bit of that shock. And the plants don't just look nice, we're actually starting to see some heads form. For example, with our broccoli. And then we have our cauliflower. We can see our leaves are starting to tighten, and that means a head of cauliflower is beginning to form. And one of the things closest to harvest would be our kohlrabi. Look at these. We're just getting nice heads forming there, and literally every kohlrabi looks like these. With kohlrabi, you have to be very careful cultivating later on in its stage of life, because you don't want to get so much dirt and mud on the kohlrabi. So you don't want to be hitting that with the cultivator too late. And then last but not least, we have our early cabbage. And here you can see, there's a head beginning to form. There's a head, there's a head. Every single cabbage is getting a head that is ready to form. And that's the main point, isn't it? I could tell you these plants look nice all day, but if they don't produce any vegetables, then what's the point? And then last but certainly not least, we have our early planting of tomatoes. Here we're starting to see some blossoms forming, which is something that we are very interested in. Just in the early stages of blossoms forming, but we also see a lot of plant growth and plant development. Fortunately enough, our tomatoes aren't affected too much by the wildlife. Earlier on with the sweet corn, I was down there today, I did see a little bit of damage down there. And with the cole crops, there's always a little bit of damage as well. But as of now, the tomatoes are healthy. We're gonna hope it stays that way. And one of the last things I wanted to show you was our pickling cucumbers are starting to get size to them. We are seeing blossoms, and if I flip these plants up, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, am I missing any more? There's new growth coming here, new growth here, new growth here. Beautiful. High production. That's nice. And that's about it, except for the peas, but none of you want to see the peas, right? You guys want to see the peas, don't you? All right, you twisted my arm. Let's go. Oh, would you look at that? I'm just going to set you guys down right there because this is a perfect opportunity to show you how the peas are doing. We've got blossoms, but even better than blossoms, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, there's too many to count. Look at this. Here, come here. The peas are growing now. These are beautiful. Look at them all in there. Oh man, this is gonna be a lot of work. But you know us, we don't mind a little bit of hard work, even though I do mind this work a lot. I see Dad over there looking at some of the stuff we direct seeded the other day. I think we should go check it out too. Don't tell me, we already have stuff coming out of the soil over here.
Yes, we do. Look. Coming up already. There. There's another one coming.
I don't think there's any here, but did you leave it so that they had extra room?
I think we did. See the flag? From the flag coming this way is the new variety of pumpkins. I have it written on what they are.
Now, before I went back to the farm, I got the drone out and I wanted to fly over the top of the vegetables. Now, I'm doing this for a few reasons. One, I enjoy it. I like seeing the vegetables from a top-down perspective, but there's also some very good reasons that could help us as farmers to fly the drones over the vegetables. When we look down on the vegetables, we can tell if any of the vegetables need fertilizer, we can see areas where bugs may be causing an issue, or we can even see where weeds are starting to form. And this is a great opportunity for us as farmers to use the tools that we have to harvest a better crop for our customers. Right now I'm just flying over the vegetables, and yes, this does look nice, but I'm also looking to see if there's any discoloration in the leaves. And it may be hard to see because it seems like I'm going very fast, but when you take the opportunity to slow down the video, you can really see what's going on with each plant. Now, we've gone from cold crops to tomatoes and peppers, and it does look really nice, and we're happy to see how everything looks. But something you really need to keep an eye on is the leaves of these plants. Now, from what I can see, the leaves look great, and I'm happy about that. But as we fly over the crop, don't just look at the scenery, don't just look at the vegetables, but really stop and think, how does everything really look? How we doing in here, everyone? Come on, you little guys! Come on!
Come on. This is my new invention. This holds the nipple pails for the calves. Old 2x4 and used binder twine.
What's up, Foghorn? How you doing, buddy? That should about wrap up feeding for the night. We got all the cattle taken care of. We got the chickens taken care of. As the nights get warmer, the greenhouse has become a lot easier to take care of. We don't have to worry about closing everything up at night. The only problem is when it's warm at night, that means it's hot during the day. And that gives us a lot of problems when it comes to watering. All right. Mommy, what are we having for dinner tonight?
Spaghetti, salad, and garlic bread.
Does that sound good to you? What are you doing down there? Hey you. What are you doing down there?
Oh, look at this.
Come here. All right, everyone, dinner time. Hey you, it's dinner time. Let's go. Come on. Let's go, it's dinner time. Alrighty. Since everyone is coming out to the table to eat, that means this is where we're gonna... So unfortunately, I've been having a little bit of an audio issue, and I'm working on fixing it right now. I don't know why. Sometimes my microphone disconnects, and then other times it connects, and sometimes it does it in between the same clip. It's really frustrating, but it's okay. Here's my kid. She's cute. But this is where we're ending the video. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.